Do you know what really happens to your body when you stop having sex after 70? It's a question many shy away from. But for seniors, the truth can be surprising and deeply important. Sexual health isn't just about intimacy or pleasure. It's closely tied to how your body functions, how your mind feels, and even how long you might live. When sex becomes less frequent or stops altogether after 70, a series of quiet changes can begin. Changes that reach far beyond the bedroom and ripple through every part of your well-being. In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful ways your body and mind respond when sexual activity slows down or disappears in your later years. Understanding these shifts is the first step to staying vibrant, connected, and healthy, no matter your age. If you've ever wondered how less sex affects your health and what you can actually do about it, keep watching. Each point might open your eyes to something you never expected. And maybe it'll even inspire you to reconnect with this meaningful and powerful part of life. Now, let's begin. Number 1, hormone levels decrease more rapidly. When sexual activity becomes less frequent or stops entirely after age 70, one of the first and most impactful changes happens inside your hormone system. Hormones like testosterone and estrogen, those quiet messengers that influence energy, mood, and vitality, tend to drop more quickly without the natural stimulation that regular intimacy brings. This decline doesn't just affect your desire, it touches nearly every part of your health. Testosterone, often seen as the male hormone, is vital not only for sexual function, but also for preserving muscle strength, protecting bone health, and even keeping your thinking clear and sharp in both men and women. Estrogen, on the other hand, helps with skin elasticity, bone density, and cardiovascular function, especially in women. Now, here's something you may not know. Regular sexual activity works like a natural booster shot. It encourages your body to keep producing and balancing these essential hormones. When sexual activity slows, those hormone levels may begin to fall faster than expected, making the aging process feel more intense than it needs to be. The result? Fatigue that lingers, moods that shift without warning, muscles that weaken more quickly, and even memory lapses that seem to appear out of nowhere. Let me tell you about someone, Robert, a 73-year-old retired engineer. After his wife passed, his interest in sex quietly faded. But as time went on, he began noticing something else. He felt more drained during the day, and his mind just didn't feel as sharp. His doctor eventually tested his testosterone levels and found they were lower than expected. With careful medical guidance, Robert began a hormone replacement plan and started moving more. Just simple daily walks. Over time, his energy slowly came back. And more than that, he felt mentally clear again, present, alive. Of course, it's completely natural for hormone levels to decline with age. That's just part of being human. But when sexual activity disappears, that decline can speed up, sometimes more quickly than your body is ready for. That's why staying physically active, reducing stress, and when needed, talking with your doctor about hormone support becomes even more essential after 70. Here's what it comes down to. Sex isn't just a pleasure, it's a biological signal. It tells your body to keep moving, keep balancing, keep living. And when that signal fades, the body listens. Sometimes in ways that quietly take a toll on how you feel, how you function, and how connected you remain to life itself. So even if your sexual activity changes, whether in form, frequency, or style, understanding its deeper role in your hormonal health empowers you. Whether it's safe medical support, healthy daily habits, or honest conversations with someone you trust, you can take action. You can protect your hormones and your vitality long into your golden years. Number 2, cardiovascular health declines. Sexual activity isn't just a private pleasure. It's also a form of physical exercise that benefits your heart and circulation. For people over 70, maintaining a healthy cardiovascular system is crucial, and the absence of sex can quietly contribute to a decline in heart health that often goes unnoticed. During sex, your heart rate rises, blood vessels open up, and your body experiences a mild aerobic workout. This natural activity improves circulation, helps regulate blood pressure, and even triggers the release of chemicals that protect your arteries. Think of it as a natural way to keep your heart engaged, like a gentle walk or a bit of light exercise. But when sex fades from your life, so does that unique cardiovascular boost. And the consequences aren't just theoretical. Poor circulation can lead to more fatigue during the day, slower healing after an injury, a higher risk of blood clots, and less control over your blood pressure. For men, it can show up as more frequent erectile difficulties. For women, reduced blood flow may cause vaginal dryness, something that not only makes intimacy uncomfortable, but can slowly create emotional distance too. And here's the thing, it becomes a cycle. When intimacy fades, health can decline. And when health declines, intimacy feels harder to recover. Let me tell you about someone, Joan, a 76-year-old retired school teacher. After her husband passed, Joan naturally stopped having sex. At first, it didn't seem like anything changed, but over time, she began feeling more tired, more easily winded, and eventually developed high blood pressure, even though she ate well and lived carefully. Her doctor explained that reduced physical activity, especially the kind tied to emotional and intimate connection, was likely part of the reason for these cardiovascular changes. So Joan joined a local gentle movement class, something simple, like Tai Chi. And more importantly, she started reconnecting with close friends and the emotional sides of intimacy. Slowly, her heart health began to improve, and she started to feel more alive, more vibrant. Now, it's important to say sexual activity is just one of many ways to support a healthy heart. Daily walking, good food, managing stress, taking your medications properly, these all matter deeply. But sex brings something unique. It's a combination of light physical exertion, hormonal release, emotional closeness, and blood flow stimulation, all at once. And that's powerful. For seniors who are worried about their heart or who simply want to feel more energetic and engaged, it's worth thinking about this piece of the puzzle. Sexual activity isn't just about preventing disease. It's about improving quality of life. It's about keeping the fire lit so you can continue to enjoy your days with energy and connection. So if sex becomes less frequent or disappears altogether after 70, it becomes even more important to replace that heart stimulation with other forms of movement, connection, and relaxation. Gentle walks, stretching, meaningful conversations, or even laughter with someone who makes you feel seen. These things all support your heart too. But understanding the intimate connection between sex and cardiovascular health gives you one more reason to honor this often overlooked part of life. Because your heart isn't just a muscle, it's a symbol of your vitality. It deserves care, love, and attention. And part of that care might just begin with a warm touch, an open conversation, or a simple step toward intimacy again. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, would you do something small for me? Just comment number 2 down below so I know you're here. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and tap that button. Turn on the bell. That way, you'll never miss a video that's made to inform and inspire you. Your support means everything. Now let's move forward. Number 3, immune system weakens. Sexual activity plays a surprisingly important role in keeping your immune system strong, especially after 70. It might not be the first thing you think about when it comes to immunity, but the connection between intimacy and immune function is very real and backed by science. When sex becomes less frequent or stops altogether, your body's natural defenses can quietly begin to weaken, and that can make you more susceptible to infections and slower to recover from illness. During sexual activity, the body releases a mix of helpful hormones and feel-good chemicals like oxytocin, dopamine, and endorphins. These not only reduce stress and help you relax, but they also trigger immune responses that protect you. In fact, studies have shown that people who engage in regular sex often have higher levels of immunoglobulin, an antibody that protects against respiratory infections and other diseases. That means, when you maintain intimacy, your body stays better equipped to fight off viruses and harmful bacteria. But when that stimulation fades, you may find yourself catching colds more often, struggling to shake off a lingering flu, or just feeling a little more fragile overall. That kind of weakened immunity isn't just about sniffles or sore throats. Over time, it can lead to more serious health complications, especially when it's combined with other age-related challenges. Let me share the story of Walter. a 79-year-old retired accountant. After he and his wife stopped being intimate, Walter began noticing something odd. He kept coming down with colds. Little coughs lingered longer than usual. He felt more vulnerable to illness than he ever had before. Finally, he brought it up with his doctor, and during that conversation, Walter learned something surprising. Sexual activity can actually support immune health. So, he made a change. Walter began making a point to bring more connection into his life. He and his wife started holding hands again, sharing quiet moments, and slowly reintroducing physical closeness at a pace that felt right for them. He also focused on the basics, getting good sleep, eating nourishing food, and adding some gentle movement to his day. And over the following months, Walter's immune resilience improved. He didn't get sick as often. He felt steadier, stronger, more balanced. Now, of course, immune strength depends on many things: what you eat, how well you sleep, how you move your body, and how you manage stress. But the quiet emotional and hormonal boost that comes from intimacy, that's a piece of the puzzle we don't talk about enough. When sexual activity disappears, so does a certain level of hormonal support, and that can silently add to the natural immune decline that happens as we age. So what's the takeaway? It's this: maintaining intimacy in whatever way feels safe, respectful, and natural to you not only supports your emotional well-being, it also helps your body fight back. It helps you stay healthier. It speeds up recovery. It reduces the chance of small illnesses turning into something bigger. If sex has faded or stopped in your life, take a moment to reflect. Could that change be affecting your immune system? You don't need to pressure yourself or push beyond what feels comfortable. But even small efforts, like meaningful touch, deep conversations, or shared closeness, can give your immune system a little extra strength. Because in the end, sex after 70 isn't just about pleasure. It's about staying well. It's about resisting illness. And it's about enjoying every season of life with more strength, more vitality, and more joy. Number 4, mental health and cognitive function can worsen. Sex is much more than a physical act. It's deeply connected to our emotional and mental well-being. After 70, when sexual activity declines or comes to a stop, many seniors begin to notice changes, not just in their bodies, but in their minds. These changes may include increased risks of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline, and they can quietly yet dramatically affect quality of life. During sexual activity, your brain releases a cascade of feel-good chemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These aren't just about pleasure. They're essential for regulating mood, reducing stress, and creating that sense of happiness and emotional connection. When you stop receiving that hormonal lift regularly, it can leave you more vulnerable. Vulnerable to mood swings, loneliness, and in some cases, even clinical depression. But there's another layer here: cognitive function. Sexual activity helps stimulate brain regions involved in memory, focus, and problem solving. That mental stimulation supports neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections. And that process is vital to keeping your mind sharp as you age. Without that stimulation, the risk of memory lapses, confusion, or slower thinking can quietly creep in. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 75-year-old retired nurse. After facing some health challenges, Margaret gradually lost interest in sex. At first, she thought it was no big deal, but with time, she started forgetting small things. Socializing began to feel like a burden, and her usually bright spirit dipped into sadness more often than before. During a routine visit, her doctor gently brought up how her reduced sexual activity might be contributing to these changes. Margaret was surprised. She hadn't connected the dots. Her doctor encouraged her to explore intimacy again, not necessarily through sex, but through other forms of closeness, like cuddling, shared routines, or simple acts of affection. And over time, Margaret began to notice a shift. Her mood lifted, her memory improved, and slowly she began to feel like herself again. You see, loneliness and isolation, which often follow when intimacy fades, add yet another layer of risk. Intimate emotional bonds act like a shield. They protect against depression. They provide a sense of purpose. When those bonds weaken, both mental health and cognitive function may begin to suffer. That's why emotional and sexual health are so deeply intertwined. When one is neglected, the other can weaken too. But here's the hopeful part. Your mental and cognitive health can be supported in many ways. Staying connected socially, engaging in mentally stimulating activities, following a healthy routine, and yes, nurturing intimacy in whatever way feels right for you. Even gentle, non-sexual touch, a warm hug, or a quiet moment of closeness can trigger those same powerful brain chemicals. So if you or someone you care about has noticed a decline in sexual activity, it's worth pausing to consider what else might be affected. Not with shame, not with guilt, but with curiosity and care. Support is out there, whether it's through healthcare providers, a good therapist, or a local support group. You can take steps to protect your emotional and mental well-being. In the end, caring for your mental and emotional health is about one simple truth: connection. Sex after 70 isn't just about desire or performance. It's part of what keeps your mind alive, your heart engaged, your spirit joyful. And recognizing that connection, that empowers you to care for not just your body, but your whole self as you move forward. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, would you take a moment to comment number 4 below? And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a video designed to inform and inspire you. Your support truly helps us continue this important work. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, relationship intimacy and emotional connection fade. Sexual activity after 70 plays a crucial role in maintaining not just physical health, but the emotional bonds that sustain relationships. When sexual intimacy decreases or disappears, many seniors begin to feel a quiet shift, a weakening of the emotional connection with their partners. This can lead to feelings of loneliness, isolation, and sometimes even resentment. But this loss of intimacy goes far beyond the bedroom. It touches the very heart of human connection, and it can impact overall happiness and mental well-being in ways we don't always recognize. Emotional closeness is often reinforced through physical intimacy, holding hands, cuddling, quiet touch, and yes, through sex. These acts release oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. It's the chemical that helps us feel trust, empathy, and a deep emotional attachment. When those moments fade, couples may find themselves drifting apart, even while living under the same roof. For many seniors, this shift is subtle. You might notice fewer shared smiles, fewer spontaneous touches, or less laughter during everyday routines. And over time, this emotional distance can begin to feel heavier. This isn't about blame. It's not a failure. It's a natural response to changing needs, aging bodies, and life's transitions. But it's also something that deserves attention, because emotional connection remains one of the deepest sources of quality and resilience in older age. Let me tell you about Evelyn and George. Both in their late 70s, they had spent decades together with a rich and loving sexual life. But after a few serious health setbacks, their physical intimacy slowed down and eventually stopped. Ellen began feeling distant and alone. Though George was still there, sitting at the same table, sleeping in the same bed, the warmth between them began to cool. They argued more. Small misunderstandings turned into long silences. But they didn't give up. They reached out for help through counseling, and through that journey, they discovered new ways to stay close. They started sharing morning coffee again, holding hands on walks, even simple back rubs while watching TV. And slowly, their bond deepened once more. Their story is a reminder that intimacy is flexible, but it's essential. Emotional isolation has been linked to higher risks of depression, faster cognitive decline, and even earlier mortality. And the loss of sexual intimacy can quietly contribute to those risks. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to stay that way. Many couples find new ways to stay emotionally connected, even without intercourse. Through small touches, shared hobbies, or heart-to-heart conversations, you can keep that bond alive. Understanding this emotional link encourages seniors to approach relationships with openness, with honesty, and with creativity. Talk about what you need. Explore new forms of closeness. Prioritize time together, because staying connected is about adapting, not giving up. Sex after 70 isn't just about physical pleasure. It's about protecting and sustaining the emotional ties that give life depth, meaning, and joy. And when those ties start to fade, it's not too late to rebuild them. Reaching for each other again, through touch, kindness, or shared time, can truly enrich your days. It can improve your mood, heal your heart, and remind you that love and connection never expire. Cherishing and nurturing emotional intimacy creates a foundation for lasting happiness and health. It proves beautifully that the heart's needs don't disappear with age. They simply wait to be honored once more. Final thoughts. As we come to the close of this discussion, one thing becomes crystal clear. The effects of sexual activity, or its absence, go far beyond what many expect. After 70, the choices we make about intimacy touch every area of life. They affect our hormones, our heart, our immune system, our mind, and the emotional bonds that carry us forward. This is not about pressure or performance. It's about understanding, about honoring a powerful part of our well-being that deserves care and attention. So take a moment, reflect on what you've heard. Ask yourself, how does this connect with my life, with the life of someone I love? Maybe there's room to rekindle connection, to explore new expressions of intimacy, or just to begin an honest conversation with your partner, or your doctor, or even with yourself. Every small step toward nurturing this part of your health is a step toward more vitality, more peace, and more joy. Thank you for spending this time with us. Thank you for your trust. We would truly love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below. Share one insight that resonated with you and how you might use it in your life. Your voice matters, and your stories inspire us to keep creating thoughtful, empowering content for seniors everywhere. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it. It helps support this beautiful community of older adults committed to living well. Here's to embracing every chapter with strength, connection, and purpose. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.